Because
Yes.
my flex of the day, I worked for La Liga a couple seasons ago, and I got sent all of the jerseys that particular season. So I have a Celta one, but I'm also a huge Iago Aspas fan, who I think has done a tremendous job really putting that club on his shoulders and scoring some big goals over the years. The fact that Luca de la Torre is going to be able to play with him, I think is going to be, talk about growth moments, having this opportunity to learn from some of the best and craftiest players in all of La Liga, I think is going to be very, very cool for him. How big a move is this? I'm going to come to you, Heath, for Luca de la Torre, who just went from a relegated Eredivisie team to a mid-table La Liga team, which I think is huge. Now, last season, they played 4-1-3-2. It's going to be hard for him. The guys that he would potentially replace all had about 4 goals, 4 or 5 goals, 6 or 7 assists. I mean, Luca de la Torre is going to probably play a little higher up the field under that if they stay in the 4-1-3-2. But he'll be able to be supplying the ball to some really talented players. How do you think he's going to do? Do you think it's going to be hard for him to break in, but it's a better situation than what he was in?
Yeah, but he's got that ability where we've seen no matter who he's put on the field next to, and we accused him, or at least I did, very early on, of being a little bit of a pass back Pete square and reverse balls. And then as he started to open up the field and open up the game and play in different circumstances where the flow is a little bit different and the space is different, you started to see the dynamic nature of his ability to get forward, connect the lines, his just calmness on the ball, all of which I think fit in really well in La Liga. It's going to be a challenge for him. But what I like about him is that you slot him in no matter who he's playing with in a midfield 2 or a 3 or wherever he slots into that attacking or sort of two-way position. He's pretty seamless in his ability to contribute or be complementary to players around him, where he's not meant to be the star. He's not meant to be the one carrying the load. And so I do like his chance of getting time there, as well as the style of play. So overall, I think it's a fantastic move compared. I would have loved to see him go to a bigger club in Holland just to continue to develop, because obviously there's something there that was making him a quality player. But to go now to test himself, I think we'll find out in the next 12 months. Was it too big of a leap? Is he there? Is the quality there? Because I still see the potential in him, but fans love him. He is one of the most beloved players in the U.S. right now in terms of his style of play. Again, it's got that kind of sexy Spanish style to him that I think the fans really, really love. So it'll be a great test for him regardless. And I'm looking forward to seeing how big of a step he can make now between now and the World Cup to actually kind of disrupt what we think probably the most secure 3 positions on our national team.
So, Charlie, I got kind of 2 questions for you. One, great news. I guess this is more information for you and for everybody else in case you didn't know. Brace Mendez, who played in one of those midfield spots in that 3, he left. They sold him for 15 million to Real Sociedad, which should give an opportunity for at least some minutes, right? And I think if he proves himself, which we know that he's capable of, could lead to him playing very, very well. So I guess the question is, if he starts blowing up for Celta Vigo, what is Greg Berhalter to do? Obviously, great problem to have, and we see it with a lot of the countries that are super talented in a lot of different areas of the field. But what do you do? Because it seems like McKennie, Musa, and Adams is our midfield. But if this guy starts playing out of his mind, yeah, you have to play him. Is he one of those have to play him type moments? Or you still be like, you don't really fit the system that we want to play? It's tough, right?
Yeah, I don't see him. I really don't see him starting for the U.S., even if he's playing at Celta Vigo. I mean, it's going to be tough for him to break into that lineup because they play a 4-1-3-2. And the 1 is set, so he's not going to be a defensive midfielder,
right,
on this team. And then
Beltran there,
you have Tapia and Suarez in front of him, Dennis Suarez, and so he's going to be competing as the backup for most of these players, and he'll fill in if there's an injury or suspension, or if the club wants to, the coach wants to rotate. But if I'm looking at this as a move that kind of vaults them into contention because you're playing at that level. And I think that was the desire is, man, all these guys that I'm competing with are playing at the highest level. I need to take that step. And so La Liga, it's a great step for him because of the way that the style of play that they have. He'll get a lot of touches. He'll get involved. He'll develop and learn a lot and grow. But you hope that he's just going to get the minutes that go along with that. They also just purchased a midfielder from my former club, Hammarby in Sweden, Swedberg. He's 18. They bought him for $5 million. So that's probably a player that they're looking at as well to play.
Yeah, De La Torre only $2 million
free, basically, and this guy's $5 million. So
So I guess this is one kind of additional question. Heath, I'll come to you on this, and then Charlie, I want to get your thoughts on it too. We have a couple players that got relegated. We got George Bello, just signed with Arminia Bielefeld, so he's probably not going to make a move. But you have Busio and Tessman, who are both at Venezia. Do you think they actually benefit? And maybe Bello falls into this conversation too, where they're going to get more minutes in the second division, and maybe that will sharpen them up in a way that they wouldn't if they were still kind of floating along and doing their best to survive in the top divisions of their respective countries.
I mean, my short answer is no. I think Busio and a player like Bello that are even Tessman to a certain extent. I think Tessman can do better in the second division because in Europe, as skill goes down, fight goes up, right? As quality of pitches goes down, fight goes up. As infrastructure and resources go down, fight goes up. Speed of the game goes up. Chaos emerges. And it was way harder for me to play in the second Bundesliga than it was for me in the first Bundesliga. We played against teams and they would drop back to the half line, allow you to play a little bit and, break down, and there'd be a rhythm and a flow to it and a respect. And you might end up losing that game, but you were still respected on that level. When I got in the second Bundesliga, it was a lot more, it felt more like the championship. Pitches were worse. The game was faster. Ball was in the air a lot more. Teams were a lot more just sort of trapping, fighting, set pieces, all those kinds of things. And I don't think that's great. Now it's great for the character development or building, adversity, but for a Bello, who I think is good on the ball and a Busio, who I think is great on the ball, the dynamic of the league changes and the style of play. So the club that you were at, because it fit the style of play, is no longer the same club when you go to the second division. Now, and I'm talking about that's because that's Bielefeld, who spent a lot of time in the second division, and Venezia, who spent a long time in the second, even further down divisions. It's not like we're not talking about who would be
like
a
Werder Bremen
drops down.
Oh, Schalke.
Werder Bremen. Schalke, a Hamburg, somebody that drops down and they've still got the resources to go, you know what? We got parachute payments like in the Premier League or whatever. We're going to take this run. We're going to keep the same team together and we're going to go after winning this league and getting back up. That's usually not the case because you came into the first league with a lot of second league players and you've gone back down. It's harder. And I don't like that. Tessman, I think, needs the minutes. He needs to be playing more and more consistently. I mean, Busio and Bello as well, but Tessman is one that I think has a more dynamic range to be able to play in a number of styles of play because of his physical build, because of the type of position he's playing. He's got a good range of long passing, things like that I think could be applicable to a second division, and he could get better in that situation with consistent minutes versus inconsistent minutes in the first division.
Yeah, no, that's great insight. I appreciate that. All right, before we let everybody go, we got some Matt Turner news, and thankfully we have Matt Turner's #1 fan here with us, Charlie Davies. Charlie, what happened with Matt Turner? He got his first action with the Gunners today, the mighty Arsenal.
Yes, he got his first minutes for Arsenal in a friendly versus Nuremberg, and they won 5-3.
So wait,
nice. I love that context.
Charlie. Was he in goal for those 3 that they gave up, or what? Like what? Give us.
Yes, he got 68 minutes, and so Nuremberg scored in the 24th minute, the 29th minute, and the 73rd minute. So he conceded 2 goals.
Okay, I'm curious.
And in that time, they scored 5 goals. Arsenal in the second half. Gabby Jesus came in, scored twice, but 47th minute, 54th minute, 58th minute.
Okay, wait. So who are the center backs, or who's the back line in front of them? I guess I want some context if it was like their first choicers.
No, so Kieran Tierney started left back. Palomari started in the middle with Roel Walters. Never heard of that player. And Hector Bellerin was the right back.
Bellerin's back at the team. You love to see it. I thought he was going to stay with Betis.
Maitland-Niles and Lokanga were the center mids. So
all right. Okay.
I wouldn't say their best team. And then Reece Nelson, left winger, Emil Smith-Rowe, attacking center mid, and Nicholas Pepe on the right, and Nketiah is up top.
Yeah, pretty good team. They've got some options up top this year, and Mikel Arteta is definitely building something special. But yeah, maybe not.
So in a way, Matt Turner led a really great comeback through substitutions. And
Exactly right. Exactly right. I just want to give full credit to Matt Turner. I think that's what we're trying to do here because we're obviously extremely biased.